Malam Shehu was in the house when the message came to him that he should produce the bride price for his marriage to Zainab. Zainab and her mother were willing to accept his proposal. Shehu produced the bride price, but the father of the girl was bent on her marrying him. I shall live live to see any other man than Abu marry Zainab, he declared. The people returned with the gifts they had taken to the girl's father, and the advisors of Malam Shehu told him not to be discouraged, since the girl and her mother are quite willing. There's nothing to fear. Malam Shehu distributed money among the relatives of the girl and sent a good portion to the king of the land. The king at once sent to Malam Audu, the father of Zainab, telling him not to be angry that the girl could be happy if she married a man. Sorry, the girl could not be happy if she married a man she did not like. If you are using power as a king of the land to force me to accept your views in this matter, said Malam Audu, that is a different thing. But as long as I live, Abu is the man of Zainab. The king made all arrangements for the marriage to take place and sent the bride price to Abu Bakr in payment of whatever money he might have deposited with the parent of the girl. Abu refused. I do not want one penny of her money. That night he spoke to his mother. His older brother of mine is quite able to take care of you. I am going away for a time, and if anything happens in my absence, he will do his best for you. Do not be afraid. I'm going to have my vengeance. Whatever happens, but it will have to be in my own particular way. Don't like these words you are saying, my son. She began to weep, and Abu tried to comfort her. At dawn, he called his brother and told him to take care of their mother. I am going away now. Don't ask me where I am going, because I do not know. I may be away for a week. I may be away for more. Everything rests with Allah. Everything rests with Allah. He took his bows and arrows and nothing else apart from a few pence which he had in his pocket. On bare feet, he tramped away and was soon lost to sight. Abu traveled for days and nights, working on the way, sleeping when he got to a village. Whenever he got to a new village, his first inquiry was always where there was anyone who knew how to wreak vengeance on men. And when they told him not to dare such things, that Allah alone could wreak vengeance, he left them in anger and went away. In due time, the wedding of Zainab and Malam Audu took place. It was a lavish occasion. Even the king had to spend so much money when he had married. No had more distinguished guests ever attended a wedding. Zainab remained in Shehu's house after the ceremony. A year passed, and then Malam Shehu's surprise and delight, Zainab gave birth to a male child. Great rejoicing, and Shehu at the naming ceremony called he Kyauta, that is Allah be thanks. The boy grew fast. He was as handsome as his mother was beautiful. Malam Shehu's outlook on life changed entirely. He who used to frown and brood now went about his work smiling and radiating cheer and goodwill among men. He gave presents of money to all whom he met. In keeping with the custom, he sent away one of his wives, but he saw to it that she had enough to live on for the rest of her life, even if she did not marry again. The circumcision came, and after that, the child went to school. His manners were good to a people were attracted to him. And despite the fact that his father was a rich man, they expressed their appreciation of his good breeding by giving him presents of money. He was not aloof to the poorer boys. He knelt down in greeting to all who were older than he, even the brother of Abu Bakr, in front of whose house the way road to the school lay. His father built him a separate house within his own compound, and there all his friends came to visit him and to play games with him. This is the end of chapter 5. Now, chapter 6. The guest for vengeance. Malam Abu Bakr was very tired. He lay in the shade of a tree, not knowing which direction to bend his steps next. Above him, hidden in the tree, a group of squalling men gazed down greedily, discussing what to do with him. Let us shoot him, said one of these dark-visaged men. There's no need, whispered the other. Let's take his property. He looks quite harmless. The first man insisted, and fixing an arrow to his bow, shot at the sleeping Abu, but missed. Abu started to Abu started and sprang to his feet. He looked round and found no one. Then he looked up and saw the rogue leering at him. Are you a thief? Asked. I am not, Abu answered. I am a man who has been wronged. I am searching for someone to revenge for me. In a few words, he told them his story of love and disappointment. The thieves came down from the tree. The man who appeared to be their leader laughed heartily and raising his hairy arm, struck Abu on the cheek. Coward, he growled. Lazy fool. Is she the only woman in the world? Why can't you marry another? Join us and forget your sorrow. One of I cannot steal, Abu confessed. He went on further down the road. He heard drumming, gogi music, and women singing. He asked a man uh, what all the noise was about. You are nearing the town, the man answered. Do you think I will meet a Malan there who will avenge my wrongs? It appears that the town is fairly big. Ah, exclaimed the man. You must be a stranger in these parts. That's why you asked such a question. Do you know that he holds himself in a state of readiness, day or night, afternoon or evening? People of this town always know in advance when a strange thing is going to happen in the town. It is indeed a bad place. So if a man wants to do bad thing to someone else, he will find a man there to help him. Of course, thousands very good. When I get there, whom should I ask for? Ask for the king. When Abu got into the town, he asked the first man he met, and that man said he was a stranger too. The next man told him that they had no king, and that the man who ran the town was called Tausayinka da Sauki, which means the sorrow in your heart is little. Tausayi had gone there to seek refuge from his parents and from the people whom he had wronged. And since then, the village had grown. Now it was peopled by men who had broken customary laws and were in some way afraid of punishment. Let us go to this Tausayinka the Sauki. Abu suggested. They went there. The man out, he had been called away by an assassin. I've told Abu that this was a bad town where people did not do wrong in secret. Her own husband was a man whose services as a killer were highly sought. She led Abu into a room and told him to wait. When he returns from his mission, he will attend to you. Abu remained in the chair until tiredness overcame him and fell asleep. At about midnight, Tausayi returned, and his wife told him he had a visitor. Bring him before me, he ordered. And when Abu came, he welcomed him and asked him his name and whether he had been well attended by his wife. Where do you come from? Tausayi then asked. A place called Galma. Very well. Go and sleep, and tomorrow you can tell me what you want. Abu went to bed. That night, the man consulted his oracle, and before dawn, he had discerned all that had happened to Abu Bakr and why he had come to this town of Zaunada Shirinka for help. What shall we do for him? Tausayi asked his wife. Shall we let him go on suffering, or shall we help him? The man said, if he agrees to your conditions, the best thing will be to help. Next morning, Abu met Tausayi. I did not sleep well last night. Abu complained. He advised him. I have been told all that I want to know about you. Do not be surprised. You are thinking of injuring Malam Shehu, taking Zenobe from you. Your idea is that he has done so because he has more money. Malam Shehu took the girl from you because he has looked for a son for 35 years in vain. And one night he dreamed that if he married your betrothed, if he married your betrothed, she would bear him a son. And now the prophecy is fulfilled. Zainab gave birth to a baby boy a few months ago. And believe me, Abu Bakr, if you were to set your eyes on this child, you would never have the heart to harm one hair of his head. Go and rest. Zainab still loves you, but she has a duty to her husband and her son, which surpasses all love. Let Allah alone avenge you. Abu's blood ran cold. I thought I had reached the end of my journey, he muttered to himself. And now this man is telling me terrible things. He looked up after a long time and said, is there then no way by which I may get my revenge? I know that he married the girl because he wanted a child. Then an evil thought came to him. Can't it be arranged that this same son should be the cause of his death? That is not difficult. I could easily dispose of the man and his son and make his money. That possession of his that has made him conceited. I could make all his money run to waste. It is as easy as putting a light to a dry thatch and watching it burn. But what I fear is the avenge of Allah, is the vengeance of Allah. I do not fear that, Abu exclaimed. If that is the only difficulty, go ahead. Let me know that I have reached the end of my journey. Tausay's head was bowed in thought, and he lifted it, slowly fixing his gaze on the face of Abu Bakr. If I am to do anything, you must swear that when your wishes have been achieved, the punishment will be on your own head. I agree. So he brought out the Quran and put Abu Bakr through the ceremony of oath. Then he said, there's only one thing I want. He named a certain tree and told Abu that he wanted the sap from this tree. In the forest where these species grew, no other tree ever stood near it because of its deadly nature. Where shall I find it? Abu asked. You have to search for it. I know that it is somewhere near my own hometown. When I was a child, my father used to tell me about it, but later I did evil thing and ran away from home to find this village or people of my kind. I shall help you, he thought hard for a little while and said, when you live here, make for a certain town called Koban Kanaka. That is, your penny is yours. There you will see my father if he is alive, and if you give him this, he will know that I sent you. Ask for my brother and get him to help you find the tree. He gave Abu a charm, and thanking him, Abu took it and departed. This is the end of chapter 6 again. So what we have in this story, we have number one, vengeance. Vengeance means to retaliate what someone has done to you, especially bad. The second word is direction. Direction is where you are headed, or where an arrow goes to on the Google map or on map. We also have ceremony. Ceremony is an occasion that organizes relatives and family for something that is happening or is going to happen. For example, marriage, death, or some occasion. We also have a claim. A claim is anything that shows you are, what can I say? Give me what?
Just like explaining something that shows your strong feelings, yeah, emotion, thoughts, and the rest. Thank you.
So we also have belief. Belief is what you trust and believe in it. For example, we Muslims believe in Allah, and the Christians believe in Jesus. That is yarda. We have revenge. Revenge is from the word vengeance.
Yes.
Vengeance is noun, while revenge is verb. Ramwa. Again, we have the word thought. THOUGHT, which is the past tense of think. A lokacin da ya wuce idan ka ce kana tunani, idan lokacin ya wuce dam, did I call punishment? No, you didn't. So we have punishment again. Punishment is when somebody has done something wrong and the judges will punish him with this. Yes, the word hukuntawadi. Then we have assassin. Assassin is a noun word which means somebody who is being hired to kill someone. Assassinate or high killer. We have tiredness. TIREDMEWS. This tiredness means to do something that could make you tired. Gajiya. We have consulted. Consulted is checking. When you check something, you are consulting it. So let me leave the word. Yeah. Uga, can you add something?
No, the only thing I can say is that is like from the beginning of this live video or live stream, I keep my upload by whenever I see that this whole club for you. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. See you again.